Hey, what's up? We're back on Spotify with Stefs Rock Show. Our next guest is comedian. He used to do radio like me as well, voiceover actor, professional actor, podcaster. What doesn't he do? Rudy Pavich. Thanks for coming by.
I don't get to my interviews on time. That's what I don't do. I'll tell you that right now.
It's not your fault because it wasn't your dog.
You're right. I pass the blame off to everybody else on situations.
That could be a
man.
porn or being late to a podcast.
Yeah, it's the dog's fault. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, sweet. You're in Minnesota right now, which is really exciting. Have you attended a learing center? What's going on over there right now?
Well, I grew up in a learing center. So now that I'm glad everybody else is finally getting on board with the learing centers. Yeah. It's as I've said many times, Minneapolis is physically it is a great place to be, and I love it. And it bums me out when people are like, it's turned into like such a shithole, and which is ridiculous. It hasn't. It's still a great place. It's just the infrastructure in the government side of this state has become an absolute gong show. So, for how much I'm back here, I don't see it as much as what is put out there, but I know it's existing and I see it, and I go to the clubs and, I was at a show last night and every comic was doing their stupid, ridiculous, hacky take on it. And at some point my girlfriend looked over and she was like, this is the 7th Somali fraud joke I've heard. That's like the same joke. I just went, well, what are you going to do? But it has been, I love being back in Minnesota. I love it here, but it's, it's got its issues. There's things it could work on for sure. So
I feel you. I'm in California and a lot of people talk shit on California. I was one of them in 2011. I left for Austin, Texas, and I was like, screw California. Well, guess who's back? And I fucking love the weather and I appreciate California so much. So
what was in Austin? Why'd you go to Austin?
Oh, I went to report on South by Southwest and didn't want to go home,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens. But so, okay, how did you become friends with Adam Carolla? How did that all happen? Like the little mashup?
Yeah. So I was always a huge Carolla fan. I was a big fan from the time I was a kid. And then when I got, I'll give you the kind of mid-level version of the story. But when I got let go in radio in 2011 was when Adam had started, just around that time had started his podcast and maybe been about 6 months in. And I was just sitting at home, just like hanging out, and was angry at radio, so I didn't want to listen to it, but I was listening to the podcast, the sort of early incarnation of the Adam Carolla show. And it was just Adam basically at his den in his house, and became a fan and just sort of always knew, like I would tell people, they're like, so what's the next plan? I'm like, I think I'm going to go work for Adam Carolla. And they're like, oh, do you know him? I'm like, never met him. They're like, how's that going to work? I'm like, I don't know. He's going to figure it out, I guess.
I love it.
Yeah. So just sort of, always sort of kept in the business and around podcasting and audio and video production and all this stuff. And then I was a fan of the comedian Adam Ray, who's a, regular on the Adam Carolla show. And Adam Ray was coming to town in Minneapolis. So I just sent him a message and said, hey man, I'm a big fan. I love, what you do. I know you do a lot of audio work. If you ever need a hand, let me know. Love to help you out. He emails me back and says, can you help me out with my shows at Acme this weekend? Can you record my sets? I said, sure, I can do that. And then he goes, great. You got 2 cameras? I'm like, I got 2 cameras. He said, great. And then I got off the phone and I went to Best Buy and I bought 2 cameras. And
that's the way to do it.
That's how I did it. And
I didn't have headphones when I got my first radio gig. So I had to run out and buy headphones crazy. At Best Buy the night before to go on a morning radio.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, you just, you fake it till you make it. You just say yes to everything and hopefully it'll all work out. And then I went to, I worked for Adam Ray for probably about 2 years. And then Carolla came to town. And while I was at the show, bought tickets to the show. While I was there, Adam Ray called me and said, hey man, what are you doing? I saw him at the Adam Carolla show. He goes, well, why don't you say hi to Adam and his producer is a guy named Chris Loxamana. If you see him, little short Filipino kid, say what up to him. And I was standing kind of next to Chris. So I got the phone and I leaned over. I went, hey man, Adam Ray says hi. And he goes, how do you know Adam Ray? And I go, I produce his content. I produce About Last Night. And he goes, wait a minute. You're the dude who does all of Adam Ray's, like his stand-up clips? I go, yeah. He goes, we were just getting on the plane and somebody was looking at their phone and said, hey, when we get back to town, somebody call Adam Ray and see who his guy is because
Wow.
we should hire him. And I go, oh, really? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, that's me. And he's like, get out. So he said, our social media person's going to be in town tomorrow. Can you swing on by and have a meeting with her? I said, sure. So I'm at the Mall of America the next day with my family, and I get a phone call from a 213 area code. So I just assume it's somebody from Carolla's team. And I pick up the phone and this woman goes, hi, is this Rudy? I go, yeah. She goes, hey, it's Meghan Trainor. I was like, oh,
the singer?
like, yeah. I was like, the pop singer. And then she laughed. I go, wait. I go, all about that bass. And then she laughed. She goes, yeah. She goes, and then it was like her manager from her, she goes, we got your name from a company called Cloud 10. That was a company that I worked for doing podcast stuff. And we're starting a podcast with my brother called Working on It. Wondering if you'd like to come on board and help do some audio production for it. And while I'm on the phone with Meghan Trainor, I get a phone call from Carolla's people. I'm like, give me 1 second. Hang on. So I answer the phone call from Carolla's people. And they're like, can you meet us at Acme tonight at 6 p.m.? I'm like, totally. Click back into the Meghan Trainor phone call. When I do, they're like, hey, Meghan had to split, but listen, let's just chat out next week, whatever. So I get on board with both Adam Carolla and Meghan Trainor, all in the same, like literally their phone calls were 90 seconds apart from one another. So I started working for Adam kind of behind the scenes for about 2 years. And then somebody had hit me up one day from his camp and said, hey, Adam's going to be in Oklahoma City. Why don't you drive over and do a guest spot? And I started laughing. I was like, yeah, I think they're kidding with me because I don't think they realize Minneapolis and Oklahoma City are not
geographically.
It's like a 15. Yeah, it's like a 15-hour drive. Yeah, it's not anywhere near the same. So I go, yeah, I can do that. So I flew myself down there, and when I got to the club, they said, hey man, how does they go, oh, are you the host? And I go, no, I don't think so. And they go, well, they said they were bringing one. I'm like, oh, I guess that's me then. I'll host, I guess. So Carolla and his feature were not in the club yet when the show started. They called and said, we're on our way. You can go ahead and start the show. So I do 10 minutes up top. I get off stage, bring the feature up. I go into the green room, and Adam's in there. And we don't know each other really. I've been working for him for 2 years. He's never really met me. And he just kind of says hi. I go, hey, how's it going? We sort of sit there silently. I bring the feature off. I bring Adam up. We do the second show. After the second show, I go into the green room and he goes, hey, funny job, really, really funny. And I go, oh, you're welcome. And then he goes, do you work for me? And I started laughing. I go, yeah. And he goes, how long you worked for me? I was like, about 2 years. He goes, really? I said, yeah, just remotely from Minneapolis. And he goes, oh. So the next day I'm at my hotel and I get a phone call from his manager and says, hey, Adam wants you to come over to the hotel and grab a bite to eat. They want to do a little writing if you want to hang out. So I go to the hotel, and when I get to his hotel, I walk through like the cafe area, and Tim Allen is sitting at a table just hanging out. And I'm like, I walk over to the where like Adam and everybody is. I'm like, do you guys know Tim Allen is sitting over there?
Tim the Tool Man Taylor's just chilling.
Tim the Two Man Taylor just hanging out. And so Adam and the three of us, we walk over to the table, and Tim sits down with Adam, and they chat cars for 45 minutes. And then we all got up and we took pictures and shook hands. And afterwards, Adam asked if I wanted to go get a drink. And then him and I went to a whiskey bar. We just hung out, drank whiskey. And after that weekend, cool. He said, hey man, any dates I got on my calendar, just go ahead and pick them. And you're more than welcome to start coming on the road with me. And then I started going on the road with him I was on the road with him for probably about 1.5 to 2 years before I started doing the show. And then when I moved to Las Vegas, they were like, hey, since you're close, you want to start doing it? So I would do it like once a month. And then once a month,
you didn't even have to get knee pads or give him a hand job or anything.
I mean, I still did just because I'm a nice guy.
You're caring.
Yeah. I would expect the same from my feature. So yes. I am, yes, of course. Yes. It's just,
if you're just a host or opener, you should really give back. Like anyone should blow Adam Carolla too. I just think he's so talented.
Absolutely.
It'd be something to add to your resume. Eventually.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. The guy knows how to craft a joke.
I love what you said because I feel you. I went through phases of, I got out of radio to start my family. And then I go, I can't listen to radio because I kind of miss it. And then I held off personally on starting a podcast because I'm one of those old school. I'm not jumping onto this, all of 2020 when everyone's like starting a podcast. Now I love it, and I'm all into podcasts. But how did you get started in radio?
So my family owns a roofing company, and that was the trajectory of everybody in my family. You went to high school, and then you picked up a hammer and you swung that till the day you died. And my grandfather, when I was 17, right before he passed away, said, "Hey, this isn't for you. You need to, like, you're an artsy kid. You're not a swing a hammer type of kid. You got other things in life that you're good at, and this ain't it." So, so I was going to become a plumber. I was doing a job shadow as a plumber.
There's good money
and great money. And that was the thing, man. Like, I'm from northern Minnesota, so a path to Hollywood, there's no path, like there's no
a blue collar job though is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll just be a plumber. Yeah. So I started job shadowing with the city of Hibbing. And then when I was a senior in high school, they would let you do this. There was a radio station in our town called WMFG, and it was like our oldie station. And they would let groups of seniors come in from the high school and just play an hour of music, and you got to read the live ads or whatever. It was just something cool that the seniors got to do. So me and 3 of my buddies went and did an hour of radio. And after that, I was like, this is it. I found my calling in life.
Yeah.
So loved it. And then just became obsessed with radio. I moved down to Mankato, Minnesota. I got a job at KXLP, the classic rock station, as the intern. I was just working for free. They moved me up to weekend overnights, which at that time was still live. You still needed a live body in a studio. So I do that. And then I moved to La Crosse, Wisconsin, where I took a part-time job at 95.7 The Rock, which was like, it's a pretty decent sized rock station in the Midwest. I took that job, and after that, just kind of bopped around. I went to Manchester, New Hampshire. I went to Springfield, Missouri, and then I came back. But my dream job was always 93X in Minneapolis, because that was like where everybody was. It was Remy Maxwell. It was Patrick, the Spiking Viking. It was Ton Mastery. It was the Half-Assed Morning Show. It was all these guys that I just grew up listening to and loving. And I had one job in sight, and that was afternoon drive, 93X. And fast forward, from the day I got my first internship to the day I took over afternoon drive was like 7 years. It took me to get that job. And when they offered me that job, my boss came in. It was the last day before Christmas break. He comes into this. I was filling in afternoons. They had just fired the afternoon guy. I was filling in. Fingers crossed they're going to give me the job. My boss walks in and goes, "How do you like doing afternoons?" I was like, "It's great. I love it." And he goes, "Well, you want to do it full time from now on?" I was like, "Absolutely." So he goes, "Well, let's talk Monday. We'll work out a contract." He walks out of the studio, and then I just bawled my eyes out.
That's
I was
so
like,
exciting.
Yeah, because like I had worked I took every shitty job. I was working. I was awful. Everything I had ever done, it was so bad. And then I got that job. Yeah, I got that job, and my fiance at the time was now pregnant, and we had a baby on the way. So it was like everything was coming together. And then that first day, I remember just like walking up to that board and looking at it, going, "This can't be it. This I'm so unfulfilled." I just thought when I got this job, like all of my problems would go away.
No,
and
that's internally. We're all fucked up and still have issues, even with your dream job.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so not fulfilled. I'm not ready to give this up yet. And I had done stand-up when I was in the 5th grade. I won the 5th grade talent show doing stand-up. And that was my thing. I was like, that's my guy. I'm a stand-up. But there's no outlet for stand-up in Minnesota. So especially where I'm from. And then I got into it when I was 27, and then my daughter got sick. So I took some time off, came back to it years later, and then met Adam. And, now it's just all timing,
Random connections and stuff. That's neat though. And I think becoming a parent can add a lot to your life. Like you take a break, but you have a different perspective. You come back. How has being a parent kind of changed you, or the directions that you've wanted to go professionally?
Well, it in the beginning, it certainly hinders a lot because
Yeah.
you gotta make the right
You're
choices.
second
Yeah, absolutely.
very well,
Yeah. And
you know?
I got to a point where, because I live in Las Vegas, my daughter lives here in Minnesota. So I kind of got to a point where once she got a driver's license and she was, kind of not obviously on her own yet, but she was old enough to sort of start making her own decisions. And my daughter is very kind of wise beyond her years. She's not like there's pictures of her with her friends when they were kids, and you can definitely tell my daughter is looking at all of her friends, just going, "You guys are morons. You're like,
Yeah.
you guys are all idiots." And she, once I got to a point where I felt comfortable with her being okay. What happened there?
I
Something
lost you
happened?
visually.
Yeah, what happened there? I wonder why that happened.
No.
Weird.
Did it press anything?
No, I don't think so. That's weird that it. Let's see.
Because I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Let's see. I wonder. Oh, there we go. Well, that's weird
Yeah.
that it gave up the other. Let's see if I can change this back to. Oh, for some reason this is not working. That's right. Yeah, it's all right. If you're cool with this, if this looks better, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. This is
Okay.
this is more of my fun project, right? I'm not.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't crazy.
Yeah. So they what were we talking? Oh yeah, kids. So the first couple of years, was hindering, but then after that, things kind of took off a little bit because she got to a point where she could kind of take care of herself. She was driving, she had a job, and
Did she come out to live with you?
no, she stayed
Okay.
here in Minnesota. And when she wanted, because I said, hey, if you want to come, we'll make it work. She's like, I only got 2 years of high school left. I got all my friends here. What I want to live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, of course. Let's just have you just live in Minnesota.
I got a couple offers to go to LA last year, but my kids are in Sacramento, all their friends in life. So it is kind of hard too. You're like, you can't do a lot in Sacramento. It's a fun little city, but
yeah.
I don't
You're in Sacramento? Is that where you're full time? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to uproot my babies. And honestly, I hated LA. I'm gonna be like, I was there for 7 years. I liked it when I was young and it was wild and fun, but it is way too dangerous and crazy when I get older.
Yeah, I hate it. Especially coming from Minnesota, where everything is a 20-minute drive. Everything is relatively cheap and accessible. I was even driving like yesterday during rush hour. It was a 17-minute drive from one side of town to the other. I'm like, dude, if this was LA, this would be an hour, 10 minutes for me to get 17 miles. So
no,
I don't know. I like it here, but with her wanting to, I was like, no, just stay. It's fine. So she actually lives with my sister and brother-in-law here in Minnesota. And mom's still in the picture. Mom's great. Just mom has a small apartment. And my daughter's like, I just don't want to live in an apartment. I want to live in a house out in the suburbs. I was like, we can make that work. So she lives here, and then but she's cool. Like my daughter travels with me. She'll come on the road. I did make her go to like some of the bad gigs before I let her come to some of the good gigs. Like you can't be coming to the, she did Hawaii with me this year. And I was like, okay, you can do Hawaii, but you also have to come and do Batavia, Illinois with me.
Yeah. Kids get spoiled. Mine won't even come with me backstage anymore. So when they were little, I'd wear them, right? They'd be backstage at all these metal and rock festivals held by Rob Zombie, all these photos in their baby books that someone would kill for. My kids grew up with it. So when I go, hey, do you want to come backstage again to Aftershock, hang out with Manson? They're like, no, it's kind of boring. I'm going to stay home on my Xbox. And you're just like, do you know how many people would kill to be where you could walk in? They just don't. Yeah. They don't get it.
Yeah, I remember taking my daughter one time to go see. We went to go see. I think it was Katy Perry. We were like in the luxury box at the XL Energy Center. I just look over and she's just like crashed out.
She's tired. Like, she's bored.
It's like whatever. I've seen this before.
And I would like freak out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some this or that questions for you. Can I ask you this or that?
Love it.
Okay. Would you rather go to the Comedy Store or the Comedy Cellar?
Ooh, really good question. Both are great. I feel like I would rather do the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is going to sound insane. The Comedy Store feels a little more dysfunctional than the Comedy Cellar. And
Yeah.
I kind of thrive in comedy clubs that are super dysfunctional.
Yeah. I saw like Dean and Bobby, and they've been like just living there. And even David Spade, like it's cute. They've been little regulars recently.
There's something about being in a club where it's almost too regimented that it's sort of, it keeps you on your toes, like not in a good way. You're almost kind of looking over your shoulder going, am I saying everything okay? Am I not pissing anybody off? Where the Comedy Cellar kind of feels like that. At any minute, you might lose all this. Where the Comedy Store, you know, I mean, Ari Shaffir took a dump on top of Bobby Lee's car one night, and they were like, oh, that's just Ari. You know, it's a little more relaxed. Yeah. It feels a little more relaxed than the Comedy Cellar. So
do you have like a comedian that you looked up to, or their styles, one of your favorite styles?
Probably Stanhope. Doug Stanhope is, because I could never be what Doug Stanhope is. My brain does not think in those terms. He's so smart and prolific and funny, and I just don't think like that. Guys like Tom Cotter, who I really love, and it's become an acquaintance over the years. I was a big fan before I even met him. I like that style. I like just being silly, and it's super fast, and it's just punchy, and you just keep moving and moving and moving, and your setups and your punchlines are within syllables of each other. Where Doug Stanhope he'll do a bit, and his bits will start. The setups will be 4.5 minutes long, and the punchlines are so good that it's worth waiting those 4 minutes for them.
I do enjoy a deep intellectual setup. I'm not a fan of crowd play, and I know a lot of people do it and it's easy and fun, but I just think it's been overdone, that I don't like it when your whole set is making fun of the audience. I like it when it's even like a political, deep-rooted issue going on, and you've got me hooked, and I'm like, where are you going with this? And then you wow me. I love that.
Yeah, my mom came to a show recently, and usually the way I sort of do my sets are, I'll do 30 minutes of material, 10 minutes of crowd work, do the merch pitch, work on new material for about 10 minutes, do the closer, get off stage. And my mom said to me after a show one time, your jokes are really good, but you know what my favorite part is? When you just talk to the crowd. That's the best part.
And I know people love it, right? I would say I'm more a minority, because if you get called out, you feel good about yourself that you were a part of the show. And I think it's really great for the comedian to do that. I think because I hosted rock shows and I call out people, and so I know how easy it is, because I'm not a comedian, that I kind of want you to do something with more intellect, with something that's harder that I can't do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody can kind of get up and just point at people and just ask them questions. What do you do? Where are you from? It's
people
so
are easy to tease.
Yeah. And crowd work really is an art. Adam Ray, great at crowd work. Josh Wolf, great at crowd work. There are some people. Jeff Leeson is probably one of the best. It's a guy you've probably maybe never heard of, but Jeff Leeson, he's a Canadian comic who he doesn't do clubs. He does like VFWs. He'll do like a VFW, it's like a Legion.
Oh my gosh, like for vets, like a vet hall.
Yeah, he'll do like a vet hall.
I tap danced at those growing up.
So that's all Jeff Leeson, and he crushed.
Okay.
Like, he's never written a joke, but he will get on stage and crush for 60 minutes straight. And there's just some guys out there that do it, but some people use it as a crutch to get through the set. And especially I hate, because I still go out and I still go to open mics. I still work on stuff. I'm not above it. Like, even I went to 2 open mics last night here in Minneapolis, and I see people doing crowd work at an open mic. And I'm going, what are you doing, man? This is where you should. And you can do crowd work on a show. Who cares? But this is where you're supposed to be working on your craft. And if you're up there doing crowd work at an open mic, you're taking time away from people who really do want to work on their material and their jokes. And I don't know. I'd much rather not see it. I love the guys. I use it a little bit just because anybody who has come to see me, I can give them a little bit of a unique show by doing crowd work. And I've gotten good at it over the years. So I kind of know the beats of the crowd work that I'm going to do, but I don't like it when people just go up on stage, they do 10 minutes of material. It's not going well. So then they pivot and just start talking to the crowd. I'm like, okay, well, you could have used this opportunity to get better at the actual craft of stand-up, to work your way through a bomb instead of just pivoting and doing the easy thing and started talking to the crowd. Because then you can, it's a little trick that we have in our back pocket that can help get the crowd on our side. But if you do it too much, it's overkill. It's not you being a good comic.
Yeah, easy fallback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you like recorded live or edited?
Oh, as a
you got way too excited there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked this because I like edited. I like edited because when I edit something, it helps me realize what it needs. If this makes sense, it helps me realize what it should sound like live. So when I edit a clip, when I edit the clip, I realize the way I edit the clip is how it should sound on stage. So I hope this makes sense. So you say something on stage, you do a joke on stage, and then you edit it in Adobe Premiere. And when you're editing it, you're taking out all the ums and the ahs and the words, and you're just shrinking it down to the essence of the joke. And then I go back and I listen to what I've edited and I go, oh, that's what it should be live on stage. So then you take that edited version of it and you bring that version to the stage. And that's the way you should do it. Because I've even edited stuff for other comics where they send me a 90-second clip, and then I give it to them and it's 47 seconds. And they go, what happened? And I'm like, well, I took out all the fluff that didn't need to be there. I took out all the extra, you know what I'm talking about? Isn't it crazy that you take out all that stuff and you just get down to the essence of the joke, the meat and potatoes of it. And it's a much better joke. And they go, oh, that's how I need to remember how to say it on stage. So editing will help you become a better stand-up by showing you what the joke should be like in a live setting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's pivotal for the attention span of listeners today that kind of, are short-lived. They want to go, what's funny now? I'm older, so I'm okay to hang out for 5 minutes to get the joke. But you get with my kids and my kids' friends, they want a 30-second reel and what was funny,
Man, I was at a club the other night. There was a kid sitting in the back, and he was a comic, and I was just sort of, when I'm at a club and I'm opening for somebody, I watch the headliner and go, what is it about them that all these people are here to see? I want to know what this guy has to offer that I maybe don't, or how can
take notes, or stay relevant of what's going on.
There was a dude who was on his phone. I was featuring, this kid was the host, and it was like this the whole time. It was just it was literally fractions of a second. He was moving on to the next video. And I'm like, how can anybody gain traction if that's what kids are doing? If their attention span is so short that it is like fractions of a second, he was flying through them. I just thought, all right, well then I have to pivot and make sure that I am giving my audience exactly what they need and make sure all of my jokes and everything are tailored to that little bit of a older audience who's willing to stick around for the first 3 seconds and see what this has to offer. Because this kid was like lightning fast. I'm like, how are you even?
Well, and I've seen a comedian use his phone, and that turned me off because I want you to memorize and make eye contact with me in the audience. And even though what he said was funny, he was utilizing his phone and looking at it, and I don't like that.
Yeah, if you're at an open mic and you're not getting paid, fine, you totally. But if you're at a show and this is your thing, yeah, you should. If anything, I always tell people like, hey, you can go up with a piece of paper, set it on the bench, and just do a move where you keep that stool right there. You just grab your drink. You take a look at that thing. You put it right back down. You can kind of, especially new material. Yeah, and it's just a line, and it's just like whatever it is, crock pots. That's the line.
I've written the names of the bands on my hand because sometimes they're metal and they're crazy and long and nuts, and I don't want to fuck it up. So I've written like the 5 bands on my hand, and then I'll just be like, anyways.
Yeah, you wake up the next morning and you're like, why is Creed, Snot, and Spine Shank on my hand? Like, I should have been able to remember this.
I wake up and I look at the dick next to me and it's imprinted on it. And I'm like, oh, you were in what band last night? Yeah. Okay. Do you like more daytime or nighttime?
I'm a daytime guy. I know me well enough that if it's 2 p.m., if it's past 2 p.m., it ain't getting done. Yeah. I know me well enough, but I'm a morning radio guy by heart. So I I wake up. It's crazy being on the road with people because I wake up at 5:30, 6
Me
a.m.
too. I'm such a
Yeah,
morning person.
such a
I
morning
can't sleep
person.
in.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
have so much coffee past 10 p.m. to have my brain work because
yeah,
I shut down around 8 p.m. now.
yeah, and we should. Like I get up, I start knocking things out. By 2 o'clock, I'm done. I know I'm done.
Yeah.
There's no more work left in me. That's it. I edit the Adam Carolla show. I still do like some of the editing on the back end of it. And that's usually in the afternoon after they record. But other than that, clips, updating websites, sending out emails, man, all that stuff is done. I do more of that by 9 a.m. And then I'm just 2 p.m. I'm done. I know I'm finished. It's just time to chill, write some jokes, get ready for the show that night. Because I go on the road with some people and it's like, dude, they sleep till 4:15. They get up. They have a quick bite to eat. They maybe take another nap for about another 20 minutes. Then we get to the club. They do the shows. We go right back to the hotel. I'm like, you didn't see anything in this place. You didn't see, when we travel, I usually try to go to a brewery or I just go to, go see somewhere. Like the other night I was in Cleveland. I went to a Christmas Story house. Like you just got to go try and see
Go to
things.
a strip club in every city. That's what I say. And that'll give you a good
I used to. Those days are now out of me. I wish I still had them because the only place I go to is Portland. When I go to Portland, I'm like,
Portland's so cool.
Go hang. Portland's great. Yeah,
the art museums and the strip clubs are the best in Portland, hands down.
Yeah.
Okay, would you choose Alanis Morissette or Fiona Apple?
Alanis Morissette. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Right. Yeah. I like a Canadian. I think both are Canadian, right? Fiona Apple, Canadian as well?
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah.
Yes.
I would take Alanis Morissette, just a little bit more wholesome. Fiona sort of seems like can be a pain in the ass every now and again. She's music.
Good in bed though. She seems crazy. So
absolutely. Yes. So crazy, great in bed, but definitely I'll take
no in a long term. Keep that around.
Yeah.
You get your tires slashed.
Yeah, Fiona ain't coming to Thanksgiving dinner if you catch my drift. Yeah.
Damn, I like them nutty sometimes, though. So it's more exciting. Okay, radio or podcast?
Well, if I had to choose, I would definitely take podcast because podcasting feels now what radio used to be. Radio used to be fun and inventive, and now it's just a shell of
there's
what
AI at stations taking over for DJs, and that hurts my heart because I loved growing up and meeting the DJ I listened to. I felt like they were my local celeb, and so I couldn't wait one day to be that. And I can't imagine that you cannot meet and physically connect with the DJ. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was the thing about it back in the day was, you'd go out and they'd be at a car dealership giving away, extra large t-shirts. And you're like, we're stopping by, man. I got to go see this guy. And that is all gone nowadays. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about that stuff. But there's a line around the block to see. My daughter went to some show at First Ave in Minneapolis and she went to go see some podcast. It was like some boys, some triplets. I don't know who they are, but I didn't recognize the name on the marquee, but the line was around the block. And I'm like, well,
they're hot and they're young,
Yeah. It's like these guys, they got to be doing something right. And then I watched their podcast for 10 minutes and thought, well, these dipshits ain't saying anything. These guys are dumb. I don't know what they're saying, but they got something because kids loved it. And it was a 4-hour meet and greet those kids put on. So
it's important too. Like I asked my kids, who do you want by the podcast? Just so I'll try to get a younger generation by. And so I'll reach out to the music my kids like, and I go, what is this digitally created shit? But then it'll get a shit ton of views when I have the band on. So, you gotta do that. Do you like touring more or staying home?
Touring. Yeah. It's in my heart. My sister and brother-in-law were talking to me the other night about retiring when they're 55 and 57. And there is nothing that sounds more ridiculous to me. I could not imagine. I'll be lugging that suitcase around the goddamn country till the day they put me in the ground. I love it so much.
Are you married?
No, I got a girlfriend. We've been together.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been together.
Okay. Does she travel with you?
Every now and again. She's got 3 kids here in Minnesota, and then my daughter's here. But it'd be different if I was on the road and I was 26. But I'm 45, and I'm not that guy. I'm not really like a flirtatious kind of person anyway.
I just
I'm
mean
not.
spending that quality time together. It's harder when you're touring a lot. And
Yeah, we talk a lot, and we sort of, she's super busy with her kids and her life, and then I'm on the road, so we help fill each other's voids a lot. So when I'm on the road and I'm in a hotel and it's a little lonely, I call her late at night after her kids go to bed and she's got nothing to do. So we sort of pick up each other's slack in those regards. But yeah, I'm not, my mom has been married 3 times and I have no ambition.
I'm looking for my 3rd divorce.
That's
what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm currently on the hunt. So
yeah. So I don't know. I have no ambition.
I couldn't do it because I stray. If someone's not home, I have like a lingering eye. So there's just no way. I've tried dating people that tour. And if I'm not on the bus, I'm like, who's younger and hotter next to me? So it's difficult for me. My hat's off to you guys that can do it.
Yeah. You start asking the kids, hey, who's younger and hotter that mommy should get with? Give me some one. I mean, get on the podcast. And
not Jeffrey Epstein young. I'm talking 25 young, which to me is a lot younger. And that's
super young.
I like 25 to 30,
Yeah.
They still have like a will to live and light in their eyes.
Yeah. My daughter has been obsessed with people's ages and relationships recently. And I just told her, I was like, yeah, because sometimes guys are a little bit older, still have a fire in their belly, and they need to date a little bit younger because sometimes
it's all on your energy, right?
Yeah.
I have young energy. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't want a guy with blue chew. So that's like the vibes.
Yeah, I agree.
Video games or Netflix?
Netflix. I've never been. I liked video games when I was a kid, but I can't understand why adults, especially dudes in their 40s, play video games the way they do. I don't like it. I tried, it's too, I don't like having the online presence of other people. If I'm going to play a video game, I just want to sit and chill and just do my thing. And I don't need to have a community of people, but that's the whole thing nowadays.
We didn't grow up with that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love Super Nintendo and like the old school games where it's very remedial.
Yeah.
I can't, I'll get lost in a corner and the 3D stuff will get me dizzy on the kids, level of video games.
We have a old school Nintendo here at the house. My daughter is obsessed with Super Mario 3.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Good.
Yeah. And I couldn't ever get into modern warfare where I'm playing with 40 other people from around the country. I'm like, I don't care. I don't need to have this.
Yeah. And I'm constantly reminding my kids, don't meet at the gas station. It's not some hot 13-year-old girl. It's a trucker trying to, fuck you. So,
yeah.
Okay. Harry Potter or Game of Thrones?
Never seen a Harry Potter movie ever.
Me too.
To this day. Yeah. Never seen one. My girlfriend's super into it. She was reading Harry Potter to her son last night. And we got it on the discussion. I just have no ambition, but I watched all of Game of Thrones. Loved it.
Love it.
As soon as it was done, told myself, never need to watch this again.
No way.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm rewatching it.
Yeah. I know. And there are some shows, but after because the way I did it, I didn't watch Game of Thrones until they announced that the series was going to be over. And I thought, well, I don't want to be out of the conversation with all this. So I crammed in like 3 episodes a day for 5 weeks, whatever it was. I binged hard.
No backdoor.
No, I was literally on the road, like with the phone in the corner of the windshield.
You can't Game of Thrones. You need a big screen with surround sound in your house. I don't know. You got to appreciate those battle scenes.
Yeah. And I got to the end of it. And after the end, I just thought, okay, well, that was fun. I'm glad I did it, but I never need to see this ever again. It felt like homework at the end of it.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Last this or that, Weird Al Yankovic or Lonely Island?
Oh, I was going to say but it doesn't matter what you're putting up against Weird Al Yankovic. I will always go Weird Al Yankovic. He's the best. He always has been. I loved him when I was a child. My daughter, also a fan. I took her to Red Rocks to go see Weird Al. We've been to, I think my daughter's been to 5 Weird Al shows. I've been to about 7 or 8. I love him. I know comedians, some poo-poo him. I think he's brilliant. I think he's fun. I think he's a great guy. I loved UHF when I was growing up. I went back, I rewatched it. I still think it holds up to this day.
Me too. I was a backup dancer for Weird Al So
Were you really?
obsessed. Yeah,
Get
groupie,
out.
Nirvana
Wow.
girl. Yeah.
No way. Oh, really? But
Yeah,
so on
so
tour, the video.
on tour and then in the video, and then I was on the Donnie and Marie Osmond show in the 90s as his #1 obsessed fan, so that's, like, my fun big clip that I like to share a lot on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I'm nuts about Weird Al, like, nuts.
Donnie Osmond, secretly a good dude. Like, I don't know if there's
Very
enough
nice,
people. Yeah, I don't know enough
very
people
nice.
give him credit for being such a good guy, but he is fantastic. What a nice
Yeah.
gentleman. Yeah.
When I was 13, the producer, Barry, hit on me and was really creepy, but Donnie and Marie were very kind and didn't try to send me off to an island or anything, so unfortunately,
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I felt
he's
not
making
chosen in Hollywood growing up, but, that's okay. Well, thank you,
yeah.
Rudy, so much for coming by Steph's Rock Show. I had a blast with you. If there's anything else you wanna plug, I'll tag you everywhere down below, but what's coming up for you?
So on the road now, every single weekend I'm out somewhere doing something. Just found out this, I don't know. That's the thing I love about rock is that rock, especially in the United States, makes its way to Europe so much. And as growing up as a rock guy, my favorite band of all time is Snot. I love them. Such a
Nice.
fan. I've been a huge fan forever. In fact, when I was in the first time my daughter and I road trip through California, we went and saw the grave, Lynn Straight's grave. And I've met those guys throughout the years. I don't fanboy over them. I don't go to all the shows. I keep it at bay because I've had moments like I met Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and I was a big Megadeth fan. And
Me
then
too.
I met him,
I got
and
speechless with Dave Mustaine and Marilyn Manson because I'm just like,
yeah,
growing up.
yeah. After I met Dave, though, I just thought I don't need to listen to Megadeth anymore. I'm good. I'm good.
I heard is ruder to men. He was nice to me, I think,
Sure.
because I have tits, but he can be standoffish a lot.
Sure. Yeah. And I get that. He's a tortured soul, tortured artist. Fine. But he, at the end of the because I had to, drive those guys to and from their hotel for the radio station and then interview them. And after we had this, after spending maybe 90 minutes with them, I was very disappointed I had very low expectations going in, and somehow he made them even lower.
Sometimes you don't want to talk to your idols.
Yeah. So I never want to ruin it.
That's me with Tim Dillon. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he's great, and Tim's a good dude. Yeah, I just ran into him in Austin not that long ago. Funny guy.
We had a whole falling out. We had a whole falling out thing.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a second. I want to hear that story. If you got a second.
It's bits and pieces have come out on the podcast, but it's something I can tell you off the podcast right now.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It's spicy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think, whatever. Just there's so many tour dates and stuff right now. But please, I would love to, if you got a chance, give it a follow, just at Rudy_Pavich. That's the biggest thing with bookers nowadays is they don't care how funny you are. They just want to see, they want to see a big number on the social medias. And if you don't have it, they just go, sorry, man. You got to be able to
share, follow. A lot of people are buying them. I know that's popular, but for me, I can tell when you bought followers and it's not authentic. I like my little tiny listeners from radio following me over to the new podcast and actually like listening to what I'm doing. I don't want to buy some people that don't care about what I have to say or who I have by. So
yeah, and well, you also see the numbers when you put out a clip and you have 150,000, followers, but only 2,000 people have looked at your video. You go, well, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, because everybody who follows you is fake. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Absolutely. Well, next time we're in Sacramento, please, Steph, stop on by. We'd love to hang and grab a drink and kick it.
I'm coming out to a show.
Yeah, take me to whatever that local strip club is, because I need to get
there's
back
Deja Vu and Centerfold.